Call to order the Planning and Zoning Commission meeting for December 16th, 2025.
Good evening, Commissioners. Jason Halterman, Assistant Director of Planning and Zoning. I would like to submit the following exhibits for tonight's record. They are the Platte County Zoning Order of 1990 as amended, Platte County Subdivision Regulations of 1992 as amended, the Platte County Land Use Plan, Platte County Roads Master Plan, all PowerPoint presentations with aerial maps, site plans, and such shown here tonight, as well as the Planning and Zoning bylaws.
If there's no objection, we'll enter those into the record.
Agenda item 3A is request for approval of a special use permit concerning 18.26 acres located on the north end of the North Amity Avenue and Northwest Moore Drive cul-de-sacs. Jim Owens of Owens Built Shelter Haven LLC is seeking approval of the preliminary plat of the Estates of Shelter Haven second plat. This plat wishes to subdivide two existing lots, which are 18.26 acres in size, into 6 lots for single family development. These lots would range in size from 1.25 acres to 3.88 acres. Each of these lots will be eligible to receive a building permit for one single family dwelling. The property is currently zoned R40, which stands for rural single family, the minimum 40,000 square foot lot size. There's no zoning change proposed with this preliminary plat. So I don't think any of you have been on the board long enough to know the history of this property, but I'll go over that a little briefly here. This is not the first time this property and developer's been here for requests in this area. He submitted plans for rezoning and development back in June 2005, February 2006, December 2006, and December 2007. Ultimately, that December 2007 plan never came before the Planning Commission because it withdrew. But those previous requests were similar, and they were fairly high density, with lots ranging total from 92 to 127 lots. He was doing single family high density. They did require the property rezoned to be rezoned, and those requests were generated significant opposition. As you can see, there's still people here. Generally speaking, the primary source of that conflict was the density. It was too high density for the area. And this property is considered infill based on our land use plan. It's bordered by existing neighborhoods with less density. And then finally, back in 2015, he submitted a preliminary plat to subdivide this property into 15 lots for single family development. And there was no zoning change proposed. And that was the preliminary plat for the original Estates of Shelter Haven. And that was approved by the Planning Commission at that time. And now he wishes to further subdivide 2 of those existing lots, the lots at the back that are large acreage lots. He wishes to subdivide those and go from 2 lots to 6 lots. This plat does also conform to the R40 zoning classification. Get your bearings. We are in the southern portion of Platte County. This is the property outlined here in pink. It is bordered on the west and the north by the city of Weatherby Lake. This property, East Side Drive, comes up off of Highway 9 and intersects with Amity Avenue, and then it splits to Moore Drive on the east side, Amity Avenue on the west, and that goes up and that ends into this property. This is a close-up view. So where I've got my laser pointer right now with the line between the original Shelter Haven plat down here and the Estates of Shelter Haven, which subdivided this property into the 15 lots. The 2 lots that are here before you tonight are here at the northern end. You can kind of see the blue line that separates them. This, the larger one on this side, the smaller one on this side. But he now wishes to go from, like I said, 2 lots to add 4 additional lots for a total of 6. This was the preliminary plat that was submitted with your staff reports. It shows he will be extending these cul-de-sacs to the north. This will allow him to gain the necessary road frontage and lot width requirements. He will have a detention tract right here in the middle. It'll be dedicated as open space and detention to be maintained by the Homes Association. He also added an open space tract here along the north on the other side of this creek. There's a creek and there's a stream setback buffer. This will be maintained as a buffer. I mean, that's what it is. It's considered, it's treed now and it will remain treed and under the jurisdiction of the HOA, maintained by the HOA. This is our Platte County future land use plan map. The red arrow indicates the approximate location of the property. The property falls within our South Highway 45 focus area. This property is designated in this land use plan focus area as for infill residential. Infill residential, these areas are surrounded by established neighborhoods within the neighborhood policy area. New development within these areas have densities that will be compatible with the surrounding established neighborhoods by transitioning from higher to lower density as development approaches adjacent neighborhoods. When such uses are adjacent to one another, a combination of landscape buffer, physical feature, berm, fence, or should be placed between these uses. Well, in this case, these lots are larger than the neighborhoods that they buffer, but they also keep in harmony with the large acreage, larger lots to the south in the Shelter Haven subdivision. They're larger than McIntyre Heights, which borders on the east, and they are larger than the lots within Weatherby Lake that border on the west and north. Now, some of those lots are fishing lots, what they call fishing lots, but still smaller lots than what are proposed with this development. These lots are all greater than 1 acre in size. Infill is beneficial and it takes advantage of existing infrastructures in the area. He is extending the roads a little bit to gain his necessary frontage. There is sewer. Those lots are serviced by sewer. He will be extending those sewer lines and then taking advantage of extending the existing water lines to service these additional lots if it is approved. These are the entities that reviewed the requests, signed the application. They were also provided a copy of the plat for review to offer any comments. They are the Platte County Regional Sewer District, Parkville Special Road District, Public Water Supply District number 6, Southern Platte Fire, Southern Platte County Ambulance, the Park Hill School District, cities of Weatherby Lake, Kansas City, and Parkville. The streets will be maintained by the Parkville Special Road District. As I stated, he is elected to make connections to these existing cul-de-sacs. They will be constructed to a local street standard, which consists of a 24-foot asphalt surface with 2-foot lazy back curbs on each side. Road District was provided a copy of the plat for review, and they didn't offer any comments. They did sign the application. These lots don't trigger the need for a traffic study. They're not going to generate, the additional lots will not generate 100 trips per day at the peak hour. And so a traffic study was not required. He did submit a revised stormwater plan that has been reviewed and approved by the county engineer. There is detention in that private open space tract C to handle any stormwater issues. There is a creek that runs through that northeast corner of the property that it falls mainly in that tract E that is shown as private open space. There is an existing stream buffer setback that will be maintained. It will stay there. It's 150 feet on total in width, so 75 feet from each side of that existing stream. It prevents any development from within this creek bed, thereby protecting that stream. So it does conform to our stream setback ordinance. These are the recommendation criteria. It's listed in our staff report. And staff does recommend approval of this request with the following condition: that development must be in compliance with stormwater standards, including APWA Chapter 5600. And just another little historical thing, back in 1989, when that original Shelter Haven subdivision was platted, this plat was part of it, and it showed what a future build out at the straight R40 Shelter Haven density would look like. And I think it actually added an additional 40 lots on this back piece. So if this would be approved, the total lots on that back 40 would only be 19. So it's significantly less density than what was originally proposed back in 1989. But that section of the neighborhood was never built out for whatever reason. So I'm available for any questions you may have.
2015, it was approved,
It was
not rezoned.
correct.
And how many lots were approved at that point?
15
total.
15 total. 15 total on that back 40. Yep.
And what did you say about the stream, these lots?
Yeah.
19, 18, and 17?
Yeah.
They have to be within 75 feet of that?
So on each side, 75 feet on each side of that stream is to be preserved as a stream buffer. So there's no development that can take place within that stream buffer. You can have passive issue or, somebody can put a trail in a stream buffer, but he's not proposing to do that. It'll just remain undisturbed. So nobody will be building a house, nobody will be building a shed or anything like that.
The 15 lots or the 19 lots, was it 15 originally?
Uh-huh.
How many of those did get built?
I think they're all built except for these back two.
Okay,
There may be one or two left. Maybe one or two left. The developer would have to, he's here, he can answer that.
okay,
But I think they're all either under construction or they've been built.
okay.
You can just count them.
Yes.
Right away, 8 lots and 14. Is there issue? Are they going to be? Did they get the right of way for that street reflected or?
What are you talking about? I'm sorry.
At lot, I think it's lot 10.
Okay.
It looks like the enter the right of way, right corner. Are they going to be dedicating additional right of way, not lot 10 or?
I guess they probably have to. Just dedicate shed. Hold on.
Helps me.
Lot 10 is just-
Oh, yeah.
I think there needs to be additional right of way dedicated.
He wants to put 6 in here. So it's 15.
No, the right of way is for lot 10, it stops at the end of that cul-de-sac. And it'll be dedicated where they're building the new road, yes.
15 months.
So that makes,
Okay.
yeah.
This is 2. Okay, and it's now it's 6.
Yeah, so that's-
Any other questions for staff?
You know how long these existing cul-de-sacs are already?
How long the existing cul-de-sacs are?
Yeah.
Off the top of my head, you know, that over there. I feel. So,
Looks like it's a radius of 40 feet.
yeah, I'm gonna try to do. I'm just saying, I'm trying to get Beacon to come up here. $192 to the center and the other one that, about 208.
Any other questions for staff?
I have the applicant come up first.
Would the applicant of the agenda item like to come up and state your name and address for the record, please, after you raise your right hand?
My name's Matt Ravel with Milburn Civil Engineering. My address is 33135 West 83rd Street, DeSoto, Kansas.
Promise to tell the truth and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
We'll have to swear the other one in if he's gonna speak as well. State your name and address for the record, please, sir. Promise to tell the truth and nothing but the truth? All right. All right.
Thank you guys for listening to our case tonight. I think Jason did a good job. It's pretty straightforward. We got 2 lots. He wants to subdivide them into 6. We're going to include 2 tracks for the existing detention basin and the area north of the stream. That's basically it. I'm happy to answer any questions you guys have.
I know, it was mentioned that the water line is gonna be extended. Did see it on this, but there's is that gonna be going around when you're just running exactly the address there?
Yeah, the water main, yeah.
Any other questions for the applicant? All right. Thanks for coming up. We'll probably, have you come back up afterwards. All right. Thank you. Other comments from the audience? In the back there, come on up. Raise your right hand, state your name and address for the record, please, sir.
Mike Porter, 7505 Northwest Moore Drive, Shelter Haven.
Promise to tell the truth and nothing but the truth.
Yes.
Go ahead, Mr. Porter.
Okay, and I could not hear a lot of the comments in the back of the room. I don't know if the people back there can hear. You might ask them. Does this help? Right off the bat, I'm opposed to any changes that's been proposed this evening. Mr. Owens dragged us through 10 years of agony on the first round, attempting to rezone with his wishes. Many of the meetings or notifications were given during the holidays, which made it hard on our families. And his goal at that time was to change the zoning of his agricultural area. Initially, it was proposed that 128 homes be built in that area north of us. Then his lawyer, Jim Bowers, tried to scare the hell out of us, excuse my French, and changed it to 148. His crew was less than honest. And the one that comes to mind immediately is the traffic study. We were told that the traffic study was taken and only one additional vehicle would appear on our street. That I live on Moore. That's horse hockey. We have four different delivery companies going up and down our street now. We have many of the local people taking their children to school and stuff like that. We have 6 school buses running up and down our streets now. It's turned our quiet little neighborhood into a freeway. I don't know how they are up on Amity, but on Moore, we have observed this. We are weary of his intentions. There's nothing in it for the people on Moore. I believe without strict guarantees, this is only a start of another attempt to expand his agricultural area. Our narrow street, and it is narrow, it's not standard, has restricted 2 emergency vehicles in the last 4 years of getting up that street, called out, one on a heart attack. I don't remember what the other one was. It was a young fellow who passed away, but that wasn't because they were restricted. I guess my recommendation, if I'm allowed to make a recommendation, is that Mr. Owens make arrangements for his people on Bridle Park Lane, and any additional traffic go out through Bridle Park Lane, not on Moore and Amity. If I had another thought, I forgot to write it down. Excuse my age. Anyway, My heart feeling is Mr. Owens hasn't been honest with us. And, I'm opposed to anything and everything he wants to do. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Porter. Other comments from the audience? There in the back on the center, come on up. Raise your right hand, state your name and address for the record, please.
Jeff Becker, 7335 Northwest Moore Drive, Parkland, Missouri.
Promise to tell the truth and nothing but the truth. Go ahead, Mr. Record.
First thing I noticed, I'd heard a mention of an HOA. There is no HOA in the neighborhood. The HOA was dissolved years ago. So I don't know who's gonna manage a retention pond that's in the middle there and the other one at the end of Moore. There is no money for that. There is no HOA. And the new development that's shown, I don't see any drawings of a storm drains there. Are we accepting that the two existing storm drains, one on each cul-de-sac, is going to handle all the excess water coming off those also? And with the 6 lot projected, are those all going to be houses? There's another almost 40-acre plot to the northeast that Jim owns. And none of us want to see a road connecting that to our properties. I just want to know, have him say, yes, there's 6 houses in this neighborhood sealed off. No more development within our neighborhood. And, that's pretty much all I have.
All right.
When did you say the HOA was dissolved?
It was dissolved shortly before we moved in and
Ballpark.
16, you said, sir?
I believe it was around 16 or rather.
You said that before you moved in?
Yes,
And when did you move in?
it was 16.
Okay, before 16 then. Okay. All right, thank you, sir. Other comments from the audience? Here in front, come on up. Raise your right hand, state your name and address for the record, please, sir.
Yeah, Grant Wilson, 7525 Northwest Moore, Shelter Haven.
Promise to tell the truth and nothing but the truth.
I'm sorry.
Promise to tell the truth and nothing but the truth.
I promise, yes.
Go ahead, Mr. Moore.
Yeah, well, first of all, I want to say that I spent 2 terms on the city council, and I appreciate what you guys are doing. It's very, very, it takes a lot of time, and a lot of us don't realize how much time and effort it puts in. It's a no-win situation, so, and I appreciate what you're doing. We moved into the Shelter Haven subdivision about 3 years ago. One of the reasons why we chose Shelter Haven, because it's a quiet little area that we really have developed a lot of friends and a very a great place to retire. The concerns that I have are quite a few. The traffic has been stated, and I apologize if I'm being redundant for some of the things you said because we could not hear you. Okay. But the traffic in that area they're just one way in, one way out. And it's getting busier and busier. Even today, I mean, we might talk about the number of homes we have there. We also have to take into consideration the number of FedEx trucks, UPS trucks, other delivery trucks that are coming up and down that road. Today, I tried to do a count, and on that road today, coming in and out, we had 9 UPS and FedEx trucks today, and I know it's a holiday season. But with more homes going in there, it's going to add more and more traffic into that area that we're concerned about. Not only that, more school buses and has been stated. The other concern that I have, and I apologize, from what I hear, and from what I've been told, we're looking at maybe 6 additional houses. Is that correct?
6 lots, yes.
6 lots.
6 lots.
Four additional over what's already approved.
How do we go on record to say if this is approved, that no more will be built? I mean, as your terms end, does that mean we're gonna come back in here in another 4 years or 5 years when we have more people and do this all over again? Is there some way on record that can be, if it's approved, that could be said, this is the final, can't be, no more houses, no more building in that area? That's a concern that I have. Another concern that I have is, we have a retention pond, just north of my house, between my house and a newer area, a new house was built that has not been even mowed or taken care of in the last 2 years. And so it tells me that this is just a situation that basically is, we're gonna have more houses being built, but the upkeep being done by the developer is not being done now. How's it gonna be any different? You know, I really oppose any more development going in. I think that it would would have a tendency to put the strain on our little subdivision that we've got. And it's a major concern. I know that when we were looking for our home, and as their new development went in, the homes that have been built and been purchased, we assumed that no more houses were going to be built there in that area. You know, I'm sure that I'm not the only one that says if we're going to continue to have more houses built in that area, we probably wouldn't have moved there. It is a major concern. So I want to go on record that I oppose it. And if it is passed, I hope we can do something in the records that says this is final, no more. Okay. But once again, I appreciate what you guys are doing, all of you, and I hope you all have a happy holiday.
Thank you, Mr. Moore. Other comments from the audience? We'll do up front here, ma'am. State your name and address for the record, please.
Johnson, 9202 Northwest 77th Street, Lemon Lake.
Promise to tell the truth and nothing but the truth?
Yeah.
Go ahead, Ms. Stigler.
I am only going to be 2 streets away from where Jim's building. And I understand that he bought the property with the intent to make money, just like everyone has to make a living. My only concern, I've lived in my home for 32 years. Jim and I, his tree stand, I can see out my back. And then he has a fence up and he has trees. And I think that if he wants to build, I understand, but I think that he needs to be respectful and leave the trees, not take any away, and not build where the deer stand is, so that the water runoff will not come down that creek. He knows what I'm talking about.
You need to, yeah,
There's a huge,
everything needs to get directed towards the
Yeah.
board.
there's a huge creek, and not a lot of water comes through it unless it rains a lot and then it comes up. But if you take away the trees and you take away that green space, it's going to bring water down, and someone in Weatherby Lake very crazily built a house at the end of the street where that creek is, and it will probably wash their house away. So I'm not totally opposed with what he wants to do, but I think that he needs to give a large green space between the lake and even, for all of us.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank
Other comments? They're on the right white shirt. Come on up, sir.
Robert Hovey, 7605, West East Side.
Mr. Covey, is that Hovey?
HOV1.
HOV, all right.
I have
Go
a
ahead.
question.
Oh, sir, promise to tell the truth and nothing but the truth?
I do.
All right.
Actually, I have a question. I'm not going to tell anything.
All right.
I may think I understood that there may be north access to the new building coming in from either Berry or did they say there are going to be some new roads put in to connect?
Negative.
No.
No new roads. Just an extension of the two cul-de-sacs. Thank you. Ma'am, come on up. State your name and address for the record, please.
Jamie Arcast, 7421 Northwest Oak Drive, McIntyre Heights.
Promise to tell the truth and nothing but the truth. Thank you, ma'am. I'm not going to try to pronounce your last name. That was a lot of syllables.
It's just, it's phonetically how it's
Okay.
sounds. I did not receive a letter on this issue. According to the letter from what I found from my neighbors is you only had to be 1,000 feet from the issue. My home I've been in 40 years. I have directly been impacted by the decisions of this group over those 40 years, most significantly this year. I've spent $10,000 literally having to do a land reclamation in the back half acre of my lot because of the damage by the decision of the building. In the history I've dealt with, you all have made plans to try and protect the other homes, but then when things get built, things get changed. And things get changed without approval. I personally had Hobie Crane at my property about a month ago. He immediately took a look at the situation and showed me the map of all of how everything was to be graded. And stated immediately, yeah, it just wasn't done. They just wanted to level the land behind me in the people's homes. The reason I bring this up is because the amount of runoff we brought up to you all back then, because of us being in a lowland area, because of it being the largest watershed in the state of Missouri, because of the fact that our area sits on a limestone surface, that when you add more water to that limestone, that starts to change that limestone. And in the process, what that does is it moves. My home used to move a ½ inch to a ¼ of an inch, depending on the weather and the amount of water that was coming across the back of my property. Now, I can't open doors. I'm losing foundation, and my home has always been well cared for. I planned to retire there. Now you're talking about making a change north of me, another area that the water comes rushing down. Mr. Owens was kind enough at the last meeting to inform me that a creek never existed that ran north and south. Well, it doesn't have a name, but boy, it runs when we have rain. I literally have cords of wood that have been picked up and moved by the amount of water and the force of the water that comes down through there. My neighbor next door, the water literally comes up into his home because the amount of water right now. Him building back there, as the woman spoke about the plants, taking out the trees, the plants, all of that changes how the water runs. And it's just going to impact further. And how it's going to impact me now is my front yard, the front ½ acre of my yard. I now barely can keep my driveway, my gravel driveway intact so that I can use it because of the water runoff. So I'm asking you all to please take a look at that. You're impacting the value of the neighbors' homes by structurally impacting us, by physically impacting us. The other question I have is that we were told when we had to put the sewers in that anything north of Maple that required attachment to our section would require a pumping station because of the elevation. My question to you is that another cost to us who already are on that sewer system and are currently paying for that sewer system? I love where I live. I've raised a family. It's a good place to be. But the impact on the neighborhood has been so significant. I can only hope that maybe you'll take into consideration these issues. Thank you for hearing me.
Where is your house?
I'm on Northwest Oak, which is in this picture, it'll be on the right side. And I am, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, about 4 lots down. My neighbor, catty corner from me, did receive a letter.
Is that correct, of where the marker is? It's way over to, it would be your far right. See where the marker is?
Yes, I'm looking here. I'm sorry, I'm having trouble seeing it. Come on down a little bit more. Right there. That's me. That's right here.
And so you're saying you have concerns about the runoff of his
Yes.
property? And it
Yes.
affects your property all the way to the east?
Because of the way we're in like a fishbowl.
There's no existing creeks in there?
There, when we moved in, there was a creek that always ran in front of our house. That creek over time has dried up. However, when the rain comes in, that creek fills and it floods the properties. I've got an area, probably the creek on each side, when it rains, it probably comes out of that bank about 20 feet on each side. And because of changes over time, it doesn't run real well. So that water sits. But to have literally seen those wood stacks that I've got that are about 4 foot high and they're about 6 foot long, on properly stacked on top of a setup, actually picked up and moved, that tells me there's a lot of water coming through there.
I'm trying to get the flow of the land because I could tell by the map that on the west side of this property in the application is Weatherby Lake.
Yes.
So are you saying that Weatherby Lake is higher than your property?
Yes.
It is. Okay.
Yes.
Well, that would explain it. It's not?
The drainage is, Kobe explained, basically, this is the creek here. This area right here, the bulk of this property will drain to the detention basin, release into the creek, which goes to Weatherby Lake. And then this area, I think, might drain naturally down this way. And there's a little natural drainage this way.
So there's kind of a natural divide in there?
Yeah, the ridge is, what you say the ridge was, the ridge is like right in.
Comes where the Oak and Maple intersect,
Yeah,
and then it kind of diagonals to the southwest.
yeah, that's the ridge. The drainage, she's speaking, she's getting drainage off the whole, a different neighborhood.
That's a different watershed.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
That's
That's what I wanted to know.
That's Highland Meadows subdivision behind her.
Drainage is important. Yeah, but yeah, this property does not directly drain onto her property.
Any other questions for Ms. Arbogast? Thank you, ma'am. We'll catch anybody else that's come up that hasn't spoken. Second row there, ma'am. Come on up. State your name and address for the record, please. Promise, promise all the truth and nothing but the truth. Go ahead, ma'am.
First off, I don't kind of understand this, where it shows the square up here and what it has to do with McIntyre Heights. Why is McIntyre Heights involved in this? Are there?
Because you're within 1,000 feet.
Yeah. So state law requires us, there are three methods of public notification for a public hearing that we are required to follow by state law. First is we're required to send certified letters to all property owners within 1,000 feet. It's the applicant's responsibility to get that list. We send out certified letters to those folks. We have to publish a legal description of the property in the newspaper, and then we post public notice signs on the property. You're within 1,000 feet, you're going to get a notice, whether it directly affects you or not. But it's because it is a public hearing, so
It's not trying to dump into our neighborhood like he has previous.
No.
Okay.
Yeah,
this proposal is he wishes to extend these cul-de-sacs it's from the estates of Shelter Haven to the north off each one to add an additional 4 lots to his existing development. Not a connection to McIntyre Heights or Bridle Park Lane.
I have a misunderstanding because I thought he was trying to come back through our neighborhood.
Oh, man.
Okay, that's all I have.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Any other comments from the audience? Ma'am, come on up. Hello, state your name and address for the record, please. All right, promise to tell the truth and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Go ahead, ma'am.
First of all, thank you very much for the work that you've done so far in this. My husband was a city councilman in the past, and I'm aware of how much time, dollars, and effort go into this research. Although I do have initially some questions. I have a concern for the traffic study. Mr. Scholander is farther back in the development than I am, but I have a great point of observation. I'm right at the corner of Amity and Moore. There's only one entrance in and out of our development. And Mr. Porter is correct. Our streets are not full-size streets unless you've driven in our development. You're not aware of that. And at that, I would like to add that there's water runoff issues. A lot of our residents in the division have taken their personal time assisting even the outer streets to make sure that that water runoff to their own time and dollar is managed. Prior to the division in 1989 being developed, 88, 89, there was a creek. There was if you're aware of it, and I'm sure that you are, that was the runoff that was from Smithville Lake that went down into downtown during the floods in the 70s. That water came up and into the backyards of a lot of our development. So I would like to bring to you the importance of water runoff studies. So number one, have we really, and my doubt comes from number one, the HOA. That's not correct. There's no HOA. It was possibly 1 year, maybe 2 early on, and with a small amount of illegal fee, the HOA was disbanded. So there has been no HOA. Therefore, that makes me question. My second question is actually the traffic study. Was it done at the intersection out far enough? Because again, our development only has one entrance in and out. And therefore, my last question would be, is there been a water runoff study? How can we continue to ask the people in our development to support and have faith in any changes that might happen going forward in this in regards to that runoff? And if you're looking at the topography of the area, the development that's being discussed this evening is at the top of that. And that runoff is an important factor. I just can't understand why we can't stay with the original 15. You know, you've heard a couple of my neighbors be very gracious that, you know, Mr. Schullander, please don't do it anymore. Maybe I can advance that request and say, why are we switching from the original 15 in order to squeeze in 4 more homes in an area that's already maxed out in traffic, water, development, green space? Something to consider. So I too purchased for the character of the development. And I would be very disappointed that the integrity of the county allowed for this neighborhood to change. And with all due respect, I was not in the neighborhood 10 years ago, but the neighborhood still to this day discusses their disappointment in the negotiations and the events that happened 10 years ago with its development. So I thank you for your time.
Thank you, ma'am. Other comments from the audience? You have more to say, sir? All right, as long as it's brief, come on up. And I don't want any new testimony, new ideas.
So, in reference to the lady that said her yard floods and everything, we've witnessed several times the water does come around where it goes, the bridge underneath Locust. It will flood over the road at least 3 to 4 times a year during heavy rains. So that entire McIntyre Heights neighborhood gets blocked in with stormwater going over the road.
All right. Any other comments from the audience? Mr. Owen, would you like to come up and speak with any of those?
I took some notes while we were back there. To answer some of the engineering related questions, the proposed roads will meet the city standard, the 24.
Could you do me a favor and speak into the
Oh,
microphone,
sorry.
please?
24-foot pavement width with 2-foot curb and gutter. And the cul-de-sac, I think it's 51-foot radius. As far as stormwater, we've already analyzed the existing basins and modified the report. We will meet 5,600 as required. We are planning on trying to use those 2 inlets that are there. We'll analyze the capacity of those and make sure there's no issues. And like the condition stated, like we'll follow 5,600, so we won't be able to release any more water off the property. And then as far as the increased traffic, like we stated earlier, we're going from 2 lots to 6. So it's an increase of 4 residential lots. So if you want to talk to some of the other stuff that. Any other question?
Erica, can you bring the mic over to Jim?
Yeah.
I was looking at the grades on these cul-de-sacs where you've got the existing is going down. The proposed is planned to come back towards that. Is there any vertical curve that you're planning to put there? Will it be just a straight grade break at that connection?
Right now, it's just proposed as a straight grade break.
Right. And then I don't know if there was a developer's agreement, if a new HOA was planned to be established with this portion of the development or something to.
Could you talk into the mic?
In our park, the one that the phase that I did, first phase, there was one that was drafted to take care of the detention ponds, you know, all the stuff around there. The detention ponds are naturally dry. So there was a comment made about that, but that it just stays that way. It just grows grass and stays dry. There's 3 of them, and that's the way they're all determined to be dry. One of them is a wet one, the one in the middle, and the other two are dry.
So with it being a dry detention basin, I mean, I believe there should still be a maintenance plan in place for that,
There
correct?
should be, but we took care of the erosion and the whole time we were building, and we didn't have any. I mean, we took, and Mr. Foley could tell you that he was out there and inspected them and seeing them when we did them, and we took care of them, and now it's just grass. So there's no real erosion from anything around there because all the lots are built out, it's all grass. I mean, I'm speaking from a builder standpoint, a developer standpoint. I'm not an engineer, but that's, Mr. Foley monitored it the whole time we were building the whole subdivision. And we had grass and it doesn't need to be cleaned out. It's just basically to dry detention pond. All right, Mr. Hovey? So
You said there's currently an inactive HOA that if something were to happen to that dam or
could be
see the
activated.
outlet structure, there's,
Yeah, it could be activated, yeah.
okay.
That would be my call, but I don't have any reason to bring expense to the homeowners there. So at the moment, so big one we have is the big one that goes into Muddy Lake, but it is maintaining and doing its job. And we've had farmland on both sides of it the whole time, crops and stuff. We haven't had any problems at all. So.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions for the applicant? All right.
Mr. Owen, considering the retention pond, is it going to be as it is now? It's already there, correct?
Yes, sir.
And basically, you're going to leave that the way it is.
Yes, sir.
And you don't foresee any runoff issues with disturbing the ground there where you are. Okay.
No.
What about the issue of the trees? That is brought to my attention. There is a lot on the very far north and northeast along that northern border. That is an area that is going to be maintained. I thought was through the HOA.
Track D. Yes.
Is there an agreement that's going to be grass so that you'd have to take out the trees?
It currently is just a greenway. I've been mowing it for like 25 years just to keep the distance between me and the homeowners and the Muddy Lake. You know, just to gain access to the west side of my property, I've always mowed it, kept it mowed. There's trees, there's a creek, there's a stream set back there. We can't do much there anyway. So we're not doing anything with it. It's just I want to call it common area, but it's private tract of land. So
It looks like it's entirely trees to me. But you mow back there on that north border?
yeah, right along the property.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, there's a 60 or 80, 100-foot swath all the way through there that I usually use a 16-foot brush hog and mow both paths. I just kept it clear for the grandkids and all of us to access the west side of the property to ride four-wheelers and stuff back there.
Yeah.
And that was the reason to put in there.
Okay, and as the builder, I'm kind of lost on this HOA. You enacted one previously in your building operation to begin with, right? And you say it's inactive? What is it? I don't understand what that means.
You can start an HOA and then you can initiate it, but not have it active until it's needed. You know, like it's there. The homeowners, they're there, they know about it. They've been told about there was one and it's inactive. Just no charge to it right now. We don't have any entrances, markers to take care of, mow or anything like that. And the detention pond didn't need anything as far as the maintenance wise.
So this retention, you don't mow this retention pond area?
The smaller ones we did at the very beginning, like as we were developing and just keeping it mowed down, but we don't do anything with them. There's really not a need for it. If you understand what they're dry detention ponds. So basically they're just big tracts of land from correct me if I'm wrong, right?
So they hold water during runoff and then they go into the ground and it's gone.
There's outlet structures.
Yeah, there's outlet structure that retains the water that comes from the land, right? Sure. Right, Mr. Hovey?
Right, holds it back to what it would be if it was an open.
Yeah,
It
that's
just
the way it was
slows down.
designed.
Controls the runoff.
It don't hold water hardly at all because
Yeah.
We have such, we have great runoff and there are very few things that are running into it. The big one in the middle, it takes all of the land, or it takes the whole north end of the property, and it's basically been farmland full time, so that whole west side right there. But that was designed, I don't know if I'm wrong, but I was told it was before I bought the property, that was designed to retain water for Weatherby Lake. They technically bought or paid to have it done. And it's when I rebuilt it, when we did it, back when we developed it, I had to rebuild the structure, so raise the water and spout and all that stuff. It doesn't hold any water. So you see it in a really good rainstorm, like a 1 or 2 inch, you'll see water sitting back there, but then it just seeps out really slow. So it was mainly, I mean, I was told it was mainly for Weatherby Lake to keep the erosion from all the farm ground. And, but I had nothing to do, but I did.
It was a condition of the approval.
Yeah.
Based on the results of your stormwater stuff.
Yeah.
So that's why it's there.
Yeah.
It needs to be there. It is in common area.
Right.
And there needs to be an entity that maintains it for the future.
Can do that.
Whether it's HOA or a property organization or whatever, that's the intent. And that's what's gonna happen here. That'll be a condition of the final plat if it's approved. That's what it's other detention basin and it's has an entity that's gonna maintain it.
Can do that.
And that's part of the final plat.
That's part of the final plat.
Yeah.
Conditions of the final plat.
Because HOAs are civil, correct?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, there's a difference. The HOA is people think, lawn, talking about trash cans and lawn. I mean, HOA, as far as the county is concerned about is that there's an entity established to maintain a common element, not a public element, a common element. In this case, it's not a park or anything. It's a detention basin. It's a common element to that neighborhood that will have to be maintained. It will be minimal maintenance for sure, but by design, dry detention are minimal maintenance. But it will be, either is or should be an entity established to maintain that over the long term.
Right. Thanks, Daniel. Any other questions for the applicant? All right. Close the floor. Discussion amongst the board.
So Daniel,
Yes, sir.
you said final plat is where the HOA comes in under the conditions.
Yeah, there'll be conditions associated with the approval of the final plat, one of which would be that there's
And this is the second plat.
This is preliminary.
this
plat.
is preliminary, this is a revised preliminary plat.
Okay, so how many stages are there?
Typically is a rezoning and preliminary plat. In this case, the zoning is already there. So this is a preliminary plat.
Right.
Which is the kind of, here's my concept, here's my idea. If that's approved, then he'll submit a final plat. At that point, the construction plans all have to be approved. And the final plat is where there'll be the conditions related to the common area and detention and.
Put the language on the plat that establishes that they be maintained by a homeowners association or some, like he said, not an HOA, an entity, a private entity.
Yeah.
But that's when we can put that on the condition.
Yeah.
It's an automatic thing, right? All
Yeah.
final plats.
All
have-
final plats.
All final plats have that
Okay,
condition.
good.
Yeah, county does not maintain HOA open space. And that's what we make sure that is the case.
The stores, the floor is closer. Any other discussion? Nothing, Erica?
No, I think I got it all answered.
Which is, I mean, some of the questions they had, that they can't connect to another property. This is about adding 4 lots. There's no rezoning. The water issue, is
Studied it.
So.
All right. If there's no other discussion, I'll entertain a motion for agenda item 3A. Motion. Okay. The following along with that 5,600.
Oh, yeah.
You made the motion. Is there a second?
I would second the motion.
There's a second. Chris made the second. All in favor, raise your right hand. All opposed? Item passes.
I've seen more.
Did anybody look at the minutes from last week?
I did. They appear to be in order, Mr. Chairman. I move to
She
approve.
to her window and she was looking at him.
Erica made the motion. Jade seconded. All in favor of the minutes, raise your right hand. Minutes pass unanimously.
Other business. Next meeting will be the 20th of January, 26th.
I'll see how long.
We have one site development plan for a church. A small, not a very big church, but that came before you guys a few years ago as a prayer garden.
Oh,
Out by the,
at Shiloh?
yeah, and now Mr. Martin is proposing to build a church, so that will be on the January agenda.
How big is the church proposed?
Not very, I haven't got past this meeting yet. It's not very big.
Yeah, it's not a lot of room.
It's not First Baptist Church big.
not.
I don't know. Don't know, sorry. But, can we clear the,
We're still having a meeting here, so if you all want to continue conversations, can you step out into the hall, please?
but yeah, so that's in January. Other than that, I don't have anything else. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year.
Merry Christmas.
Thank you for your service.
When's our Christmas meeting, Jackie?
We're
I got sneak up here Monday.
yeah, allegedly there's one Monday.
Allegedly.
Yeah, up here. I mean, we were just told about it today, so come up here to lunch. So I really won't mind if you want to show up. So other than that, I got nothing.
All right. I'll make
I'm a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Erica seconds. All in favor of adjournment. All right, meeting adjourned. Thanks for coming, Mr.
How are you?
Hobie.
Yeah, I kind of gathered that, but it is.
Or just
Hobie,
Mr. Crane.
She didn't love controversy.
Except for his were like the original.
I don't think that guy in the back.
What's it? You were getting ready to say something. January 20th.
Oh, good idea.
Well, to show
I
them that.
typically say 2025.
Oh.
Uh-huh.
January 2020.
Well,